Rob, how's it going, lads?
All good, mate. All good. How are
All
you?
good, mate.
Yeah, good, good. How's it going, Jack? How are you coping with all this media attention, all these interviews?
Yeah, doing a lot, mate. A lot more than usual, but it's all good. It's all great. It's getting my name out there, so can't complain.
I think he's getting to his head a little bit.
It is a little bit, mate.
He's a natural now, Bri. He's a natural. He's a star now.
It happened to Brian, but it didn't go to his head. It all went to his nose.
You see, you would never have said that a couple of months ago.
Oh, I wish I'd not said out.
Rob, I'll answer you first, mate. How do you think the camp's gone? You come to the end of it now. It's fight week. Is it all gone to plan?
Yeah. Do you know what? It's been a tough camp. I think any camp of this magnitude is always going to be tough. You're always going to have to overcome little obstacles and hurdles within the camp. Wouldn't be lying if you said there was any times where there was any little slight niggles or stuff like that. But you know what? We've got through them all. We're here now. And like I said, you know what? I think it's cliche to say, but this is the best I have seen Jack for a very long time. He's done the weight correct, his nutrition, everything where we made mistakes in the past, we've kind of corrected them this time, and it has really shown. He's been absolutely on fire. So I'm looking really excited to him, mate. Like I can't wait for fight night now.
He looks really tough, stroking his cat there, doesn't he? His opponent's going to be shitting himself.
Yeah.
Jack, you've had your go at the title before. Just fell a little bit short on a tough night. What have you done differently, and what's different about you now that you didn't have then?
Obviously that was in the past. We've gained experience from that fighting for the British title. We've got 12 rounds under our belt. We know we can do 12 rounds comfortably. So, that fight's in the past. And now, we're on to the next things, bigger things. We've got a world title shot on Friday. Talking about training camp, it's been the hardest one of my life. It's been a grueler. But, it had to be for this magnitude of fight. So, it's all gone to plan. It's all gone good.
That was a question I was going to ask, Jack. If you win this world title, would you ever go back and fight for a British? Because I know it's every boxer's dream to win a British title. I know it was my dream, and I went on to do it. But is that something that you'd like to do, or are you just going to stay at that world level and try and unify? That's what you're capable of doing.
Definitely, mate. But the British title it's one of the best titles out there. Watching you win it and stuff. Coming up as a pro. It's always stays with you. It's who will take the fight. It's hard to get fights. We've offered Chris Smith and we've tried. Do you know what I mean? And after this, see what happens. See who wants to fight and see what for. There's always different routes to take, and obviously money makes sense as well, and magnitude of the fight makes sense as well. So if it's a big fight, it'll make more sense than if it's for the British, and that's the one there, then we'll take it.
Yeah. I just know some of those British fights out there for you are just as big as a world title fight. That's how good the division is.
Definitely, mate. I think obviously on British soil as well. There's a few good lads there to make big fights out of. You've got Riatpur coming back on the scene. He's not really got much to offer at the minute, but he's looking to be moving on and getting a title. You've got Chris Smith, who's got the British and European. And you've got Lawrence Nicole, who's got the other world title as well. So, there's big fights to be made there on British soil. And, if it means fighting for the British, then absolutely.
Do you look ahead, Rob, for Jack? Do you look ahead to the next fight already, or where he's going to be in 2 or 3 years' time? Because
No, obviously that you have them chats offside, but for me, I was solely focused on this fight because this one's probably Jack's toughest fight, bar the Riatpur fight. Moving forward, this kid's got a credible record. He's never been stopped. He's an IBF Intercontinental champion. So this is a tough test. We can't look past this kid. But having said that, we have had the conversations, and boxing's a funny game. I'm sure Brian will tell you that. Things change from one day to the next. I mean, look, we had a rough time, with a previous promoter. We moved on, and all of a sudden, Jack's fighting for an IBF European. He kind of set the stall out, because look, you can't wait around. you know, in the domestic scene, there's some real tough fights. I think some of the fights domestically are harder than European and probably fringing world. You know, that they are tough fights. And like you say, you know, the British Commonwealth and European was tied up with Chris Billam-Smith. So, you know, your options are limited. And it's a credit to the promoter, Dennis Hobson. You know, they grab the opportunities while they can. And, you know, we thought we maybe was going to grab another belt like a WBO European. And then all of a sudden, you know, Jack's fighting for a world title. So that's the things that can happen, you know, in the click of your fingers now. You know, in terms of going forward and looking ahead, you know, there's been a few things mentioned. But for me, you know, unless is it a fight, a unification fight that, you know, comes to fruition and it's you know, an opportunity that you can't turn down, then look, you have to sit around the table and look, you know, take the opportunity while it's there. But for me, you know, depending on what's after, once Jack grabs his belt, I'd like to see him fight Chris Billam-Smith for the British, Commonwealth, European and the world title as a defence in Jack's hometown. I think it makes perfect sense. You know, it gives Jack the opportunity to go and clear up that domestic scene. And not only that, the fight's got history. You know, Jack beat him in the ABA finals. And I think it's a good level. You know, I think Chris Billam-Smith's proved himself. He is past domestic level now, going on European, probably verging on for a world title himself. So, you know, there is a lot of options out there that make sense. But first and foremost, we need to get Bilal Laggoune out of the way.
I don't think people realise how many tickets you sell either, Jack. You know, you are a ticket seller. And I know that for a fact. I've witnessed it. So I think when COVID hit and stuff, people forget just how many tickets you can sell. So like Rob said, fighting for a world title or a British title in your hometown makes so much sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. It'd be great, mate. It'd be great. But do you know what? I'd do it in Bournemouth. I'm not bothered. You know, I'd fight him in his hometown. It doesn't bother me. But you know, obviously it'll be great for all my fans, obviously, to do it locally. But you know, I'm not bothered where I fight. You know, obviously the fans will follow as well. So it'll be a good fight to make, that, definitely.
Jack, I've got to say about you, everyone I speak to about you, fellow boxers, all say what a talent you are, the power you carry. Speaking to Tony Bellew about you, and he couldn't sing your praise any higher, and he genuinely thinks you've got the ability to go on and be really dominant as a world champion. Same with Dave Allen, spoke to him, said different class. Do you think this is your time now? This is the real time for you to step up and win this title and then go on to fight the Lawrence Okoties on those big pay-per-view shows?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, definitely. You know, like Rob was saying, we've been messed around in the past and had a little bit of an unlucky career where injuries have come on before fights, had to pull out of fights. So probably, this is my 20th fight. I'll probably be on, you know, looking at probably 28 fights by now if it all went smooth and okay. I know everyone has the you know, their injuries and pullouts and stuff like that, but I think in a way it's probably done good because I've matured into a big, you know, I'm 28 now, so I've matured into you know, got my man's strength and matured into a good strong boxer. So, you know, the time's now, I'm ready for it now. So
yeah, I think you've got a great team around you, which I always think is so imperative. You know, you've got Rob there and the great work he's doing at the Phoenix camp. You know, you've got Dennis Hobson, Kevin Marie. You've got us doing a bit of stuff for you. I mean, apart from that, everyone else is good. But you know, it's all set up for you now to do the business. And I wanted to ask you a bit of a fancy question, really, but could happen. You see what Canelo's doing at the moment, stepping up to cruiserweight to take on Mcpherson, and you look at where you're going. Is there a part of you that's thought, I could actually be fighting Canelo in the next 12 to 18 months?
You know, that'll be the dream. That'll be the dream. Obviously, you know, getting in the ring with the likes of Canelo, you know, pound for pound #1, in my opinion. You know, a legend in the sport. And obviously, payday as well. That'll be nice. But, yeah, absolutely, mate. You know, he fought Golovkin when, I'm pretty sure Golovkin had the IBO when he fought him. So you never know, mate. It could happen. And,
strange things have happened, Jack. So, yeah, like, it's
absolutely, yeah.
It's a fight that could happen, and it's a dream, isn't it? Like, it's something that it's a goal for you going forward.
It is. Yeah, it is. Definitely.
Brian, I want to ask you, you've been there, you fought for a world title, you've been on that bigger stage. What advice would you give to Jack about handling the moment and taking it all in?
Just treat it as it comes. You know, I did get a bit of stage fright. I mean, Robert was there when I fought for a world title, and I think the whole occasion got to me. and all there was cameras in my face and all sorts. But it will be slightly different because I mean I fought in New York. It was live on HBO, so I'm pretty sure Jack will be able to handle this like a normal fight. I mean there is a lot of pressure on him, but there is on the other kid. The kid's coming to win, you know. So there's pressure on both. So he's just got to relax and treat just like any other fight. Because I know what he's capable of, and I know how powerful he is. I know how intelligent he is as a fighter as well. He's a really good boxer. So I know he's more than capable of winning it. It's just how he performs on the night, because I know in the past he hasn't performed to his best ability at times. You know, he's won, but he's not even shown half of how good he is yet. So if he does show a little bit more than half of what he's good at, he'll win this fight comfortably.
Rob, more of the same. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely, mate. 100%. I think you're going to see the best of him this time round. You know, he knows what's at stake. And you know what? For me, the most important thing has been his momentum. And no excuses, but we've never really had momentum. You know, he's just had nothing but bad luck. Every time we've had a title fight, every time we've come round to the big fights, he's always been injuries. Whether that be his nose being cut or ruptured bicep or going over an ankle. Like there's been one thing after the next. But like I said, we've got momentum. You know, when a little bit of inactivity, we got that other fight out of the way. Then we had a nice run of sparring. Then we're back out again for this one. So the timing is absolutely perfect. And I think Brian's right in what he's saying. You know, Jack, he's shown in the past where I think, you know, sometimes you get fighters that know their ability and know what they can get away with. And I think Jack's, you know, been that person in the past when he knows he's been in with certain kids where he thought, you know, he can take his foot off the gas and maybe he got caught with a couple of silly dash shots. But I think he's shown clearly against Riatpo. You know, he fought 6 rounds within the space. I think it was 12 or 18 months going straight into a 12-round fight against him. And, you know, he raised his game. You know, he raised his game significantly. And I think that's what's going to happen this time round. He knows that there's a threat in front of him. He knows that, listen, Bilal Laggoune is coming to win. Again, you know, he's a champion himself. He's young, he's hungry. And, you know, the same's at stake for him. Whoever wins this fight, it's career-changing, it's life-changing. You know, you just mentioned before about Canelo, you know, making an impact now on the cruiserweight division, fighting Mcpherson. And going back to what I said before, boxing's a funny thing. Jack gets this under his belt. Who knows? You know, who knows? Anything can happen. So, you know, he has to leave no stone unturned. He has to go in there on the night and do exactly what we've been seeing in sparring. And if he does that, I said it from the get-go, I put my money where my mouth is. Bilal Laggoune does not survive 6 or 7 rounds with Jack Massey. Fact.
100%. Jack, I said it before, I think you've got all the potentials, mate, to become one of the biggest stars in the division. I hope it goes well for you on Friday night. I'm absolutely sure it will do. I'm looking forward to being there. I know Brian's going to be there too. Good luck, boys.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers, mate. Nice one, Brian.
Oh, thank you.